So good to be joined by the NFL's leading rusher, leader in yards from scrimmage, and the FedEx Ground Player of the Year. Bro, that's a hell of a trophy right there.
How much does it weigh?
It's at least 25 pounds.
25 pounds?
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Like, how you supposed to get home with that?
You just like toting that around. Like,
Man, I've been having somebody else hold it for me.
They're going to ship that to you, right? FedEx, obviously, you can't be expected to bring that through security.
You know, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like how you supposed to get that home.
No, for real.
Listen, man, this season, could you have imagined, because from an outside perspective, new regime coming in, a lot of rumors about your future with the Raiders, you're playing in the Hall of Fame game. Could you imagine when you were playing in the Hall of Fame game that you would be the FedEx Ground Player of the Year and have a rushing title to your credit?
I knew I was going to have a crazy year after the Hall of Fame game, honestly, just because I took it personal. You know, I didn't really take the not picking up my fifth-year option personal because I felt like, you know, I was a year younger to the contract that I wanted anyways, and I feel like, you know, I was in the driver's seat of however it went, it was really on me. So I was cool with that, but I felt disrespected in the Hall of Fame game. That was kind of the, you know, the turning point for me.
what do you think you showed the new regime that had seen you from afar, but now got a chance to see you up close? What did you show them that perhaps they didn't know?
I mean, I could tell by week 3, man. I mean, I feel like, you know, they Patriots guys, and, you know, they always running back by community. But I really didn't do that this year. You know, I was kind of the guy. So I feel like they kind of, you know, seeing, you know, how I went about business, you know, on a day-to-day basis, and how I carried myself, and, you know, the love that I actually got for the game, and, you know, the attention to detail that I put into the game. So I think that's the thing that they learned the most.
And listen, they're going to learn the hard way now because you didn't quite bet on yourself as much as they bet against you. By not picking up that option, now you go into free agency. They're either going to have to break you off with a big bag or tag you to some $10 million now that you're a first-team All-Pro and rushing champion. I'm telling you, and I'm mad at them because it's like, I didn't draft you in fantasy because they're running you in the Hall of Fame game. I'm thinking, oh, you know what, I'm not going to draft Josh Jacobs. Dude out here bringing people championships. But back to the contract, I've seen you on record as saying that it's got to make sense for you. What does make sense mean? What does that look like in terms of a long-term deal?
Like, man, like I want to be a Raider, you know. You can't ask me to come back and, you know, you don't know who, you know, the quarterbacks are going to be, and you don't know, you know, get some more guys on defense and some more guys up front and things like that, and I'll be okay, you know, taking less. But, like, you can't expect me and Tay to be the guys but then not want to pay me that way. So, like, for me, that's what I mean. Like, if you come with the right number, I ain't saying it just got to be the craziest, but if you come with the right number and I don't feel disrespected and it makes sense, then I'm for it.
You've had enough of the disrespect. You played him in the Hall of Fame game, did pick up his 50 option.
Yeah, that's done. I didn't already, you know, I already got it all in my head, you know, so we'll see how it play out.
Please help us understand the season, the Raiders season. I mean, it was all over the place, but what's your assessment of it?
Man, if you think about it, we lost every game that we lost besides 2, we lost by a touchdown or less. I mean, less than a touchdown. So, you know, that just lets you know that you know, we right there on the cusp of being a great team. But, you know, the great teams learn how to finish, you know, the games out. And for us, man, it was such a frustrating season just because I seen the potential that we had. I seen the guys, like, actually come in earlier, and I seen guys actually work. You know, sometimes people be like, yeah, we losing, but you're not really working. I seen guys actually, you know, take that upon themselves to try to, you know, be better every day. And I think that was the frustrating thing. Like, you know, when you lose, you're like, man, we put in all this work and we losing, you know. And that was one of the things that I, you know, since I came in at being a Raider, you know, I probably had maybe one winning season. But that's the thing about the, you know, Raider Nation that I really like, man. It just, I feel like I can want to help bring, you know, this Raider organization back to what they once was, man. You know, the Raider dynasty, you think about the Raiders, you think about the legacy, you think about the winning culture. I just want to be a part of that when things start to go the right way.
You want to be on them walls in Allegiant Stadium. I was there last weekend, man. Let me tell you something. They pay homage to the greats in Raider history throughout that stadium. But let me ask you, man, like, again, help us out from the outside. We look at what you guys went through last year, and the way you guys rallied toward the end of the season, made the playoffs, almost beat the Bengals under Rich Bisaccia. You make wholesale changes organizationally with the front office and the coaching staff, and then from a results standpoint, you take a step back in terms of wins and losses. Is it that simple? Like, is there something on the inside that we don't see that gives you encouragement about the direction of this organization?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, one thing I like about Josh McDaniels, man, is that the dude actually listens. You know, a lot of coaches, and I would say that I've been around, don't really necessarily, they'll listen to the player, but they don't really change what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of them guys
They'll humor you.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's one of them guys that really, like, he'll sit down and be like, okay, what can I do different? What can I, because obviously what I'm doing is not working for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I like the most, man. I mean, you get around him and you see his football knowledge in his brain. You know, I thought Gruden was elite, and I'm looking at this guy and the way he schemes things, and I'm just like, man, this is like a different level. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that keeps me very optimistic about where the Raiders could go. Really, right now, it's just about getting the right guys that's going to accept what he's trying to teach and the message that he's trying to, you know, go for, and guys that's going to be willing to run through a wall for each other.
We told you off the air, man. We've both known Josh for pretty much 20 years now. The Patriot thing is a little different.
Yeah.
So give us an example of something he came in and said, this is the way it's going to be, and you said, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Now, I'm not going to lie, from day one, you know, that was everybody concerned. Like, is he going to come in here with this Patriot ways? You know what I'm saying? And for the first day, he was like, look, I know we not the Patriots. I know I'm not Bill. Like, some stuff that I know that, you know, that I know that worked, that I know that been working for a long time, and I'm going to use that. But, like, we're going to adapt to what we got. And I was like, okay, I can rock with this dude.
Yeah, okay, that's a relief. Well, but to that end, and that's interesting to hear about Josh from the inside perspective, because, again, you look at the big question at quarterback. You're going to be, if you're still a Raider, and if they're smart, you will be, one way or the other. You're going to be taking handoffs and tosses and catching passes from a different quarterback for the first time, and that's Derek Carr, of course, moving on. A lot of talk about Aaron Rodgers, who we know you'd be excited to play with. We know Devontae Adams would be excited to play with him. So there's a relationship there with Adams. We know the player that Rodgers is. We know the talent that he could be stepping into, especially on offense. But it doesn't seem like on the surface Rodgers and McDaniels would be a match, given the type of autonomy and authority that Rodgers has had in Green Bay and the system that Josh runs. Or is that a mistake to assume that?
It's definitely a mistake.
Okay.
It's definitely a mistake. I say that because you got to understand, like, Josh is one of them guys, if you work your butt off and you do things right, you get a little bit more leeway than what people think. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can go off the rails and nothing like that.
Right.
But you definitely get a little more leeway. Like, you know, you might be running a little late, like a couple, you know, and he not going to trip about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And things like that. Like, he's one of them
He
guys.
ain't sending you home if you.
Yeah, he's not doing that, man.
Yeah.
He's one of them dudes that, like, he appreciate people that appreciate the game and that really love the game and really, you know, put everything they got into the game.
And schematically, it's a fit?
I mean, you got to think, bro. Aaron Rodgers he's one of the greats.
Yeah.
He's one of the greats. You know, like, his football mind, I think them two together, you know, just throwing these ideas off each other, I think it'd be crazy, man. I think it'd be elite. And I think it also helped Josh too. He don't have to do too much.
Yeah, that's right. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
What was your response when you heard that they were essentially sending Derek Carr home for the last two games?
Yeah, man. I don't think I might get in trouble because of this, but I don't think that they sent them home. I think it was kind of just like a mutual, like, understanding. I don't think they was like, go home. I don't think they did that. But I think it was definitely crazy. It was definitely eye-opening for me because, you know, you see a guy that's been in the league 9 years, and, you know, he's been playing with the same team for 9 years. He's got all of these franchise records and things like that. And you see how, you know, things could change for him quick.
Yeah.
So it kind of just opened my eyes, like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, like, I'm a small fish in his pond, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what kind of the thing that I thought about the most.
And I need to get your response to this because I think it's the craziest ending I've seen in a football game, regular season or postseason, I've ever seen in my life. And that was that game against the Patriots, where I thought we were going to overtime.
Yeah.
And then and the funniest thing, you see Mike's crew, he's got a sick sense of humor, okay? So I just want to let you know, I was rooting for the Cowboys in their playoff game against the Niners, and he was rooting for the Niners. And then he pointed out that play where Zeke was the center and got flattened.
Yeah.
He was like, okay.
Game,
He was like, that's the whole thing. But bigger than that is Chandler Jones on Mac Jones. It's like, oh man, he did it, and Mac is just like
Helpless.
He didn't want no part of that.
I mean, come on. Like, so what was your just
I'm
like,
not gonna
take
lie,
on that whole thing?
Ramondre, he won the game with that run. If he go out of bounds, they kick a field goal, they win the game. He was at he was in field goal range. But man, I remember I was like, he threw it back, and I'm looking like, is this really happening? You know, Chandler moving slow to the end zone. It's like taking him forever to get there. I'm like, this really happening right now. It was so crazy that I had to call a couple of the players after the game, and I'm like, who told him to do that? Do y'all practice? Did y'all practice that or what? Like, what's going on?
What's funny though, after that game though, because I remember I felt bad for him. Like Jacoby Myers threw it, college quarterback.
Yeah.
But I knew it was really screwed up when he said, yeah. They asked him. He said, "What happened, man?" He said, "I thought I saw Mac open." I'm like, that's the quarterback. You think you see him open? That was a crazy game, but great for you guys.
Yeah, man. So look, last thing, man, before you go, you said you expressed wanting to be a Raider on the right terms, wanting to be a part of that organization's legacy, turning this thing around. Having said that, it ain't often that a 24-year-old running back, forget about how deep this draft class is, forget about the running backs being a dime a dozen like people like to say or whatever, a 24-year-old leading rusher and yards from scrimmage guy hits the market. How many people been in your ear, dog?
Everybody.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been a lot of people, a lot of teams too. So we'll see how it play out.
You're not gonna be unemployed, is what you're telling me.
No, most definitely.
I love it.
All right, hey, Josh Jacobs, congratulations, man. Seriously, that's a hell of a story.
I appreciate
that Hall
it.
of Fame game to going down in history. 2023's leading rusher, first team All-Pro.
Talk to FedEx.
Yards from scrimmage, FedEx Brown Player of the Year, man. Here's to many more. Appreciate you,
Oh
man.
yeah, man. Appreciate
Good
you.
to meet
Thank
you.
you, man.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.